How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God. Age to age he stands, and time is in his hands, beginning and the end, beginning and the end. The Godhead three in one. He's the Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and the Lamb, the Lion and the Lamb.
In a marriage relationship, never abuse the trust that your wife has given to you or even your husband has given to you. The moment you abuse the trust, it's very difficult, to patch back that broken, the cracked relationship.
Adapt means you're going to learn to adapt to something new. Adopt, you're going to learn to adopt and make it yours personally. And adjust, you're going to learn or need to learn to bring that change into your own lifestyle.
So using machine learning or AI, today the AI able to actually read through and memorize and decipher the entire sets of records from the very beginning of time of these particular patients.
When talking to the person and apologize if you are the cause of the hurt or the pain, apologize and ask for forgiveness, right? And be willing to change.
How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our
Good evening and a very warm welcome to another Family First Malaysia Zumina. My name is Florence Ng, and tonight together with my husband Richard Tan, we will be your moderators.
Yes, a very good evening. I'm Richard Tan, and on behalf of Family First Malaysia, we thank you for taking your precious time to join us this evening. Now, as moderators, allow us to take care of some house rules so that we can all enjoy an uninterrupted and fantastic evening together.
As usual, do make sure that your microphone is switched off. The administrator will switch off your microphone when you come in, but just in case this is not done due to some technical errors, do assist us by switching off your own microphone. This is to ensure an uninterrupted presentation by the speaker for this evening. However, we will encourage you to keep your camera on so the speakers can see your faces.
And number two is do ensure you are properly attired as the Zumina is recorded and will be posted on Facebook and YouTube.
If you have any question to ask, we would seek your cooperation to type your question in the chat box, which can be found at the bottom of your screen, so that we can pick it up and post it to our speakers immediately when she finishes. In case some of you would like to direct your questions to the speakers personally, do wait till the end of the session when we will open the platform for discussion and fellowship where time permits.
Number four is just in case you need to eat or munch something, do switch off your camera and enjoy your food.
Number 5, do stay till the end of the Zumina, as there will be a photo shoot of all the participants. The chairman of FFM will request you to switch on your camera when the time comes, and we will then proceed to take a group photo.
In the event of any interruption of your internet connection, do not worry about missing out, as this webinar will be posted on Facebook and YouTube, as mentioned earlier, and then you can catch up and watch it from there at your convenience.
For those who are interested in following up with or be kept updated with the activities and Zuminas of FFM, Do leave your phone number and name in the chat box, and the administrator of FFM will pick it up and include you in our mailing list via WhatsApp.
Well, I think that's about it for housekeeping. Now, do sit back, relax, and enjoy a short presentation of the vision and mission of Family First Malaysia, followed immediately by the introduction of the speaker for this evening. And may we have the video presentation, please? Now, First Malaysia is a non-profit organization that emphasizes on the importance of good and holistic family values.
Vision. We exist to transform next-gen fathers, supported by mothers, to build better families, resulting in a better workplace, a better society, and a stronger nation.
And the mission of FFM is that we partner with like-minded organizations to restore, reshape, and release men and women to become better couples and parents in the context of original marriage with a 4F focus. The 4F are family, finance, fitness, and lastly, favor. Now, under family, we seek to double our love, joy, and peace in our families to restore broken relationships, reshape the home environment, and release next generation leaders using home as a starting point of leadership training. The family tools we use are
Noble family vision, family of a happy marriage, role of a husband, father, role of a wife, mother, the foundation of blessed children, the foundation of the family altar.
And the next F is finance. Under this tool, we seek to increase our income or net profit ethically and righteously. We value innovation to double our giving, with all bad debts settled and achieving oneness with money as a family, beginning with fathers and mothers to model better financial stewardship. And the tools we use under finance are
Principles of financial stewardship, God's purpose for money, managing money as a couple, financial freedom.
And the next SF is fitness. Here, fitness, we proclaim that to strengthen our mental and physical health through the cultivation of a positive mental attitude, holistic exercise, and nutrition, resulting in high energy and wisdom to achieve things of big and lasting impact. Under the tools for fitness are
Cultivating a positive personal habit, growing old gracefully.
Yep. And the last one is favor, which is the acronym for faithful, adaptable, versatile, optimistic, understanding, relationships. Now, this is the website of our Family First Malaysia, right? You can take a photo shoot of it, and you want to follow up and know the latest news of what is happening around us. You can use this QR code to find us and join us. And do note that Family First is operating on a pro bono basis, all of us. So we will need your support in any way you can. And if you feel moved or feel touched by the Lord to donate and work towards our goal to reaching out to families, then this is the bank account of our Family First Malaysia. And you can take a photo shoot of this, and you can send your donation to us, and we will give you a receipt. Thank you very much for joining us. And now we will introduce the speaker for tonight.
Tonight, we are privileged and honored to have with us someone who is highly qualified with the experiences and exposures to share with us on tonight's topic on reaching out to people one at a time. We may not be able to reach out to the world, but we can reach out to people around us and start with those closest to us. She will share with us on reaching out to one child, one family, and one community at a time.
Now, she is well known as a mission-driven trainer, coach, and mentor who is dedicated to helping individuals unleash their potentials. Now, she wears a number of hats, and she's currently serving as Global Governance Director, Entrepreneurs Organization, as Leadership Development Chair for Kiwanis Malaysia, and as Director of Operation Tongning Group, a family-owned business that is involved in real estate and palm oil plantations.
Besides that, she's a passionate and active advocate for environment and social sustainability and for organ donation awareness and pledge initiatives across Malaysia. Judging from her wide exposures and passions, I'm sure we can expect to pick up some great handles to help us do what the Lord has called us to do. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to pass this time over to Miss Rosemary Tan, our speaker for this evening. Miss Tan, over to you.
Thank you. Wow.
Welcome.
Thank you so much and good evening, everybody. Oops. Stop share. Wrong one. All right. Thank you for having me, Family First. And it is a privilege, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to do this with you. Let me see. All right. So let me move this away and put, there we go. The correct one. Okay, so I'm thank you to Tinky and Tek Sing for giving me this opportunity to speak to this audience. And when we talked about it in the beginning, continue to share, yes. Tinky actually asked me to talk about dermal organ. And then when the poster came up, so I thought it might a bit confusing. So let me set the stage and do a little bit of context, right? So tonight, the main topic is about dermal organ, which is organ donation, which is what I'm passionate about. And that is driving impact for Malaysia. So why reaching out to one child, one family, and one community at a time? So this is the context of where it came from, because I took on the project through Kiwanis, which is a service organization. So Kiwanis now in Malaysia is 50 years old. So my club is 50 years old. We just celebrated it. And what basically it is basically a service organization where we join to volunteer to help others. But we have a purpose of helping children. So we serve the children of the world is the main focus. So when you have volunteers coming together, you can achieve more than what an individual can do. And why we come together in Kiwanis is to improve lives through fellowship and service worldwide. And so we are a global organization. And like I said, in Malaysia, we are 50 years old. All right. And how we do it is basically find the gaps and needs and do whatever we can to help the community in need. And we are dedicated to changing the world one child, one family, one community at a time. So it's not easy. It's not like what you call like easy thing to do. However, when you find something that we can like all kind of focus on, it becomes a very delightful journey where you can see the joy in people's face when they are blessed, right? So Kiwanis right now in Malaysia is 44 clubs, about 1,000 members. And we do have youth clubs as well in schools, as well as for the neurodiverse community who are adults. And there's 4 divisions in Malaysia. Globally, we are in 83 nations, so you can see the numbers. But in terms of where I am, earlier I said Kiwanis, right? So the verse I forgot to say is, I feel that wherever God placed us, that is where we're called to be and be the light in the organization or in the office or in wherever He has placed us. So with Kiwanis. This is the recent birthday celebration that we had, a carnival at Montfort Boys Town. And that's where I'm serving, being recycled as the president of the Kiwanis Club of Kuala Lumpur again. And I've been a member for 27 years. And that's my installation and my board at the bottom. All right, so this is how we serve in Kiwanis. So we look at what can we do lah. So this is our matrix. So all the colored ones are basically Kiwanis has done something. The white ones is not ours, but you can see that those are the needs that our organization can get into or can help. So we try to identify the underserved, and then we try and plug it lah. So each club will find members who are more passionate about certain things, and they would do that. And during COVID, for example, let's say basic food and shelter, which is the first column, and where we did feeding programs and food aid for the refugees and for the poor. So that's something that happened over COVID. But all the other things, what we are known for is the Kiwanis Down Syndrome Centers, where we have 4 permanent schools, has been around for 30 over years already. And so then you also have the ad hoc projects that we can take orphans to zoos or movies and things like that. So we have the range of services that we do. So that is what Kiwanis is. And we do service and try to meet all these needs, which are, try to alleviate the poverty, zero hunger. And what we're good at is giving education for the neurodiverse community, the Down syndrome centers, and we have other mixed centers that help autism, cerebral palsy, dyslexia, and autism, specifically autism as well. All right. So, of course, to reduce inequalities. And at the bottom, you can see the description. We're doing job training centers for the neurodiverse and then supporting refugee schools. We have done beach cleanup, and even now, actually, a lot more clubs are taking on tree planting for sustainability. So these are how we help. So in order to tell you about the dermal organ, so spiritually, there was a conviction where God kind of tapped and say, hey, it's like a call to action. So this is the story of how it started for me. All right. So if you're talking about reaching out to one child, one family, one community at a time, right? So when God showed me this, it's like, wow, it can even impact the nation. So it was such a strong prompting that it kind of like shook me lah. So where it started was in year 2022, where I was involved in a video for SIB Church Accomplish, where we sang Doa Kami, blessings in Bahasa. And this was the prophetic painting, was the ripple effects of in Malaysia. So with that kind of like first touch point, then as I was the governor for Kiwanis Malaysia, I was the signatory to represent Kiwanis with all the other NGOs, Rotary Lion, I think Seroptimus and JCI, to do something for the nation, right? For Malaysia, right? We're supposed to do, NGOs unite for Malaysia. And then in July 2023, I saw this on my phone, which was, when the social media come up, you see a video, AGT, and then you follow it and you see it. And I'm going to show it to you afterwards. So this one really touched my heart. And so I was curious. So the song was, it was 2 moms singing a song to bring light to organ donation in US, because one mom's son passed away, and the heart went to Beckham. And that was the story. So I was curious, what is this like, organ donation like in Malaysia? So that was planted So it was packed inside my heart, my head. Okay. Then Rachel Bulan came to SIB KL and she did a sermon. And what spoke loudly to me was to be a family of God that lay down our life for one another, to come, collaborate, work together in unity, and to bring healing and light into our city and our nation. So it was very aligned to what I signed with my NGOs, right? And then we were praying with the Malaysian firewall and with NECF, right? And then this is what God said, basically prompted or said to me, okay, you all pray, do a lot of praying, but show me that you love Malaysia. Wow. And then he said, give me your heart. So all these dots, right? Connect. So motivated me to do something about it. So I actually Googled what is organ donation like in Malaysia. And who is in charge is the National Transplant Resource Center under our Ministry of Health. So went to see them on 26 September with a couple of my girlfriends and got to, ask them so how are you all doing? What are you all doing? Can we help? Can NGOs help or not? So of course they said yes, right? And then so we answered the call to action. The call to action is basically we started doing the ambassadorship. That means they train us to go out to speak about organ donation. And so on my birthday that year, I, so I said, don't give me gifts. What I want is your heart. So I asked all my friends, my family members to donate, to be an organ donor and sign up on the My Sejahtera. And that's how I've been doing it. So I brought it back to Kiwanis, Malaysia, and tried to get all the clubs involved, all the members involved. And during that year, this was the two things, the parable of the talent and minas. This was the one that kind of sealed it for me to say that I really have to focus on this. I really have to do something, not only for myself, but for my nation. And then because, why? Because one life can save a minimum of 8 lives. Okay. So if you look at the parable of Matthew, right, which is the talents, and then we are given all, one was 10 and then 5 and then, 1, right? But the servant that buried it, right, he was scolded. And then you're wicked and something else. So wicked and lazy. So that was the verse if you read from Matthew 25. So what convicted me was, then threw the servant out, where there's weeping and gnashing of the teeth. So whatever you've done for the least of this, you've done for me. Then the Luke one was interesting. Same parable, or rather same spirit of the parable, right? Same again, servants. And then the servant that buried one didn't, and then returned, and then again got scolding. Wow. And then not only that, got scolding, again, have to kill them in front of me. So it's like, wow, very kanjong, very, how do you say, serious lah. So what it showed me was, because behind in my mind and in my heart, I was thinking of organ donation. So if I were to bury my body, which can save 8 lives, then I'll be like, wow, then am I like the servant who buried it and didn't earn anything and then gave back to the master and got scolding and then got, thrown out some more into the darkness? So that was the conviction I got, that I had to do more, or I had to steward my body differently. What that means, because we are supposed to serve him wherever he has placed us, right? Then we are supposed to be good stewards. And then we're supposed to be like the servant who multiplies. So our body can multiply into 8 lives, when we passed away, right? right? So are we faithful with what God has given us, even our body? Because we will return dust to dust. And then the thing is, don't take your organs to heaven. Heaven knows that we need them here because we can recycle ourselves. So that was my conclusion in that sense. And that's how I got into this, stayed in it, and got my Kiwanis because I was the governor national, right? So try to get all the clubs. Of course, not everybody pick up lah. I tried to get church to do it. Also very hard to get the church to pick it up. So the fact that I'm speaking to all of you here in Family First, each and every one of you can contribute and do something about this if you're similarly convicted. So let me show you how it all started, the spark of it. Okay, so there is a gap, there is a need. Definitely Malaysia needs it. We are the one of the worst in terms of data. So can you imagine? After I saw that, I was sobbing away lah. Okay. And so that was how I was moved to go and find out about what is it like for Malaysia. So if families can be affected, can be blessed, where one life, instead of losing so many, both sons, one set of parents had to sacrifice for another family. And that was something very powerful. So with everything that the prompting and, the conviction, so the dots kind of connected over the 2 years, or actually 1.5, or about a year lah, from until I started to do something. So a simple altruistic action of just filling out your My Sejahtera form. And I thought my conclusion, or my whatever it is, my how God talks to me and how I kind of make the conclusion that if this is a prophetic act that God wants from us, then maybe he'll move and he'll do something. And then with that is our action to show God that we truly love Malaysia. So it's to declare to the heavenlies, not just talk, but it's a true commitment to surrender our bodies to bless fellow Malaysians, whoever they are. And that's the thing, whoever needs that gift of life. So we will trust God to use our organs for good. And so biblically, basically, is our last act of stewardship, and to love each other, one another, unconditionally, because we can't decide who our organs go to, whether our organs are good or not, and what can save who, that kind of thing. So trust the Lord, right? So these are the verses that came to me. Do whatever is honorable, lay your life down for your fellow men, and you honor God with your body, and truly is a act of gratitude. Freely you have received, then you freely give, right? So no transaction, no nothing, because we can't, right? And today there's so much thing we're doing about sustainability, so much effort to save the planet. So we recycle, we reuse, you use battery power, we plant corals, do sustainable energy, replant forests. Why can't we just recycle our bodies, right? Because people here needs us, needs our parts, because cannot reproduce, okay? So the data is, so what I learned, this is all the things that I've downloaded from the NTRC, the National Transplant Resource Center. I learned that one life can save a minimum of 8 lives. So what can they use? Not just the organs, the lung, the heart, the liver, intestine, kidney, and pancreas, but also our eyes. And then our tendons, our valves, our skin, our veins, and our bones. Those are called tissue. So these are 2 categories of things that they can harvest from our body to save other people, okay? So you can save 8 lives, restore sight to 2 people, and even help with all the tissue, veins, and all that, up to 75 people. That's the impact that one person can have just from your pledge. In Malaysia, where we are today, okay, the red on the left is when I started. So there were only 372 pledges, 1,000 pledges in Malaysia. And that's like 1% of our population then. So we were in the world's list, we were at the bottom 10, okay? So why? Why is there taboo or misunderstanding or people don't understand? So today, when I went to the site, it's 432. So increased by 60,000 since it started. It's still not a good number. So the number that I got down is 600,000. So maybe if we reach 600,000, I don't know, because it was 60 years of Malaysia when I was made aware of this. So 600,000 as a figure, then after that, God will take it and, like, that's it, he will move things. So I'm not sure. So anyway, so that's my humble and really authentic sharing. Okay, so what is organ donation? So it's giving the healthy organs and tissues to somebody who needs them, right? So yes, doctors have to harvest them and then transport it and then put it in to a person who needs it. So there are two types of organ donation: when you passed away and when you're living. So as a living donor, you can give away one of your kidneys and part of your liver, because your liver will grow back again, okay? And then you can live with one kidney, actually. So there are many people who have done it, where the wives has given their kidney to the husband and parents given it to their kids. Even the liver can be, as long as you are a related family member, then we can do this in Malaysia. You cannot sell it. There's no, so that's illegal. So donation after death is basically when you're brain dead or when you're cardiac. That means you really heart stop, blood stop pumping already, right? But the brain dead is your blood is still pumping. So when you're brain dead and your somehow the blood is still pumping through your system, the best things to harvest is basically the lung and the heart. Okay, so this is the timing of what can last and what cannot last. So the heart and the lungs is the shortest, 4 to 6 hours. The liver longer, the kidney longer, right? And usually when they have a donor ready, they will there are certain criteria, but basically they prep 3 people to receive, just in case somebody's immune system not good or they cannot go through the surgery so they will call 3 people who would match and who can receive the organs. The corneas, you get 12 hours, bones 24 hours, heart valves 24 hours, and veins. So these are all the things that can be harvested for you. So these are the criteria, allocation criteria. So the blood group must match your tissue antigen, your antibodies, the size of the organ, so baby to adult, adult to baby. So some can be of age difference, some cannot. So must be about the same size, and how urgent it is and where you are on the waiting list. So the question is, do you know where to put yourself on a waiting list? Because the private hospitals here cannot do that. You have to register yourself at HKL to be on the organ donor or organ recipient list. So in Malaysia, it is prohibited to exchange your organs. So in America, they can sell their kidneys or whatever. So that's illegal. Okay. So you can't do that here. So who is in charge? Who is in charge? So the National Transplant Council, these are all under the Ministry of Health. So, and then there's organ procurement, and all the public hospitals have people that will ask the family members, would you like to donate your organs? However, they weren't trained. Only last 2 years, the NTRC has actually focused on training all our public hospitals to do this. And there are only certain transplant hospitals. So what this NTRC, National Transplant Resource, do is a special department that takes care of just organ donation. So they coordinate all the logistics, they do the registry, they train all the doctors and the nurses and how to talk to people, and the education campaign as well. And most of it is the logistic or the resources are in Kuala Lumpur. And what they do is once they have somebody in Sabah, let's say, who just passed on and have organ, so they will mobilize that from flights to the doctors to go to Sabah to bring it back using whether it's military vehicles, commercial vehicles, and deploy ambulances and police to follow you so that you can bring it home as fast as possible. And these are some of the photographs that our real Malaysian team actually goes out now. Okay, so it's a freezer box that brings back the organs. And these are the hospitals that are actually doing transplants. And now we have Prince, Sunway, and Mahkota in Malacca, private hospitals, but the public hospital that specializes is our UITM, Hospital Tengku Aziz, and Selayang Hospital, our Hospital Besar, our IGN. So these are all the hospitals that will specialize in certain things. And as you can see, that IGN will do heart, lung, and cornea, right? Hospital Besar, only kidney and liver. And so corneas is only certain hospitals, but Prince Court right now is doing kidney, liver, and cornea as well. So this is what is available in Malaysia. So we need more organ donors so that there will be more transplant, and then the doctors will be more proficient. Okay, so far so good. So we've had 3 heart transplant last year, and these are some of the history. So it started out way out in 1975. In 97, there was the first heart transplant in IGN. And Albert actually lived, and he only passed away last year. So that has been like, quite a long, many years lah. 90 something is 30 years already. Yeah. And this is a young man who's been on the machine for a long time. And it took him 2 years to get his heart. So he survived to get his heart. Lung transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplant. Okay, kidney. So you can be a living donor, right? So this one, there is a kidney foundation that takes care of that as well. Okay, so a lot of you are asking, how old? I'm too old already. Cannot, too old to donate, right? Guess what? The oldest in the world is 98 years old, donor, right? And in Malaysia, it's 82 years old. And the youngest is only a newborn baby, 74 minutes old. And the mother actually carried her to term so that she can actually donate the baby's organs. Okay. And in Malaysia, 25 days old. Okay. So in Malaysia, we have the same data, the data that I just put in the global page, but in Malaysia, we also have young and old. 82 years old can still donate. So what is the challenge? The challenge is misconception. Maybe, concern about mutilation, right? Will I get my family's, my loved one's body back? Actually, you can still have an open casket. Even when you donate the cornea, they put in the false eye and the face won't, change shape lah, but in that sense. So, and, it's like any other surgery. They will, when you do a heart surgery, they open the stitches. But when you dress them for the open coffin, you'll get back your family member intact. Okay. And the other fear, the yellow ones are the fear lah. Family didn't know about their wishes. Didn't want the deceased to suffer anymore. Those are the high-rated reasons lah, right? And then religious belief. But if that's the thing that we don't know lah, we don't know what we don't know, right? So it's to learn about it. So our goal basically when I've learned about the need is basically to increase the rate of consent for donation. That means the family members to know, and to increase the pool of potential donors. All right. So these are the 2 main things that we as the public can help. So how you can help? Increase awareness, number 1. And number two is the number that I have in my heart, in my head, that I think was planted. Please try and reach 600,000. I wanted to reach 600,000 last year, but just to get people to sign up was not easy. Not easy to convince, because there's so much education we needed to do, whether it's on a religious basis or on the taboo basis, especially Chinese also, right? Okay. And this will be the unifying cause for Malaysians, so that we can save lives and truly bless Malaysia. So together, I believe we can accomplish more and faster. So what can you do, family first? So family first, you have your members, you have the stakeholders, right? So members. So each member can go back to your family, to your communities, to your association, to talk about this, you know. So what network did God give you? You know, can you bring this back to your office, back to your ministry, back to your association? So this is, then you said, how do you pledge? So it's on your My Sejahtera. Yes, it's been COVID, long time already. They gotten rid of their My Sejahtera. But if you put it back and just fill out the form, just fill out the form. Fill out, okay, follow the fill out the form. You need to put in your family members' details now, because remember the second challenge was family didn't know. So you have to tell the family, and the person that you put on your consent form or your pledge is basically the family member that will be contacted for this. And that's how you get on the national list. And that's it. No more card, no more paper card, no more which hospital did you sign up with? It's a national list right now. They consolidated it. So with all the information that I got was basically with Kiwanis, we can go out and get members, be equipped and empowered, and be ambassadors to speak about organ donation. So that's what we tried to do lah. So we did it in 2024. We started lah. So we had, because of the NGO, you know, Unite come together. I invited everybody, whoever wanted to come, and NTRC hosted and trained us with their doctors and their nurses. So that was the beginning of it. And so this was my birthday. I did a Facebook kind of posting and a WhatsApp, you know, on the left-hand side. And my friends actually answered to the call. And my board was very, very supportive. And you can see how muhiba it is, right? My Kiwanis board that gave me the mandate to go ahead and do this. So birthday events, companies that allowed me to speak in their so wherever lah, any avenue that was given to me, I would have taken it and spoke about it, even on Zoom and online. Yeah. So these are some of the pictures. And in Johor, the Johor clubs does blood donation every quarter, 4 times a year. And they are very known for it. So now it's just to add the organ donation into the program. So they started doing that as well. And then in my building, so this is my office in Oval Damansara. So I went to the management and said, can I put up posters, lah, this, lah, that, lah, and do that in my building? And they say yes. So, so I was so blessed in the sense that, you know, when you just ask, and the worst is they say no, lah. But if they say yes, that's another avenue. Okay. So more companies. So we went out, and my Kiwanian team that went out to do this, went to schools to talk about it, right? And I also did it in Sabah when I was there as a facilitator for one of the tables at the True Success Conference. So that one, yeah, so my circle group as well as the participants and the leaders there answered the call. I went to Pakistan and did a weekend. They gave us a booth space. And even at our own fundraiser, Kiwanis Treasure Hunt, we went to Sunway. They had a day of health and things like that, and we were there. And so this is captured audience, the treasure hunt, where we take people on a motor treasure hunt to raise funds to Taiping, and we also did it there. So it was every avenue lah. And then, okay, so this one, because all this digital board on the highway costs tons of money, right? So in order to get people to donate, is like, it doesn't make sense. So it's to ask the company who owns this lah. So we went to Sunny Jaya, who has all these boards, and say, would you like to do a corporate social responsibility project and do this announcement? So we gave them the images, and then we learned that we have to apply. We have to apply in Malay. We had to go to Dewan Bahasa and Pusaka to apply and give them the image, and they have to approve the bahasa that we use, that kind of thing. So it was such a big ask, because at the end of the day, if they say yes, so the right-hand side is the real picture. The left-hand side was what we proposed to them, right? And actually no material cost. It's just digital space. And then, of course, what I learned is you ask, and then the one who asks, who seeks, who finds, who knocks, and the door will be open. And truly, we asked, and they opened the door, and they gave us $150,000 worth of airtime on that digital board. So praise the Lord. He answered. So it was very gratifying to, when somebody say yes, so that's, so that was amazing. So the unifying force was, if we can do one small thing, it's just a pledge. And we do it with great love, and we do it wonderfully. It is a noble act, right? To give a gift of life. So that's what I believe. And God is so good. So as I journeyed along, right? So I says, we need Malaysian stories. We cannot have this AGT, America, kind of thing. And truly, somehow, somebody said that you already have a couple in SIB who donated their daughter's organs to save lives. And I found them. So I got their number. I called her. We sat down, had tea, and I asked questions and said, would you be willing to come alongside me whenever I need you to, you give your testimony or tell about why you decided to donate the organs for, Esther's organs to save lives. Can you tell us your story? So there's a Malaysian story. And it came, and after that, only the door opened to SIB. And SIB gave us the leaders meeting on a Thursday or Tuesday evening on June 25th. Oh, I forgot which year. I didn't put in the year. It was last year where we went to speak to them. And so imagine that they got to share to the church. And this is the family with the two brothers. So Esther would have been the taikache, the big sister of these two young men. And the hospital, this was the children's hospital in Likas, Sabah. Actually, the mother, Claire George, is actually from Sabah. And Esther passed away in Sabah, in KK. And so in 1922, the children's hospital did the Tree of Life and recognized all those who gave the gift of life, the organ donation. So they went back for that, the commemoration. And then this is another Malaysian story again, right? Because of Kiwanis, Cordelia, the mom, was one of the recipients for Anugerah Ibu that we do every other year or something to recognize mom of excellence, of patience, of perseverance, who taking care of either Down syndrome children's, neurodiverse kids, and Patrick. So this Patrick Cole, I think that's Singh, and that's Cordelia. When he was a baby, when Patrick was baby, his liver was sick, right? And so he wasn't well. And he was 2 years old when, he needed the liver. So Patrick needed a liver, of which, oops, not moving. Okay. And so before transplant, he had to be, on the tube and confined, right? So doesn't have the freedom to play like all the other kids. So when he did his transplant, so daddy was the organ donor, because kidney, liver, so can be a living donor, right? And this is her plea. the family's plea that when she did this last year, it was only 10,000 people, actually 10,000 people on the waiting list for organs. And this is Patrick's story. So he did this presentation and spoke to us in Kiwanis with the youth group from Chonghua School. And so this was his presentation where he spoke, okay, on the mic. And he shared the story, and we were at the Ross Lango pewter factory where they had a hall, and we were blessed that they sponsored the hall and the location to do this workshop with the Chonghua School Key Club, which is our youth program. And now he's healthy, he runs, he sings, he's an ambassador, and not only that, he is a superhero. He loves to dress up as Spider-Man, goes to hospital and gives toys to kids. And what he tells me is because when he was in the hospital, he was miserable. And he wants to make the children in the hospital happy. And this is how he does it. So he's giving back at this age already. And so he also pleads with people who plead, I mean ask people who meets him to please save as many lives as possible. So be an organ donor. So I want to show you his video. I'll share another one, which is this one. Share, okay, and enlarge.
If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. Believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. If you believe.
Hi, I am Patrick. Thank you for saving my life in 2019 by prayers and donations. Because of all of you, I become a runner, speaker, advocate for kids and organ donations by the Patrick MOG Kids Ambassador. I am alive because of all of you. Please save children in need. Thank you.
Okay. So that's Patrick's plea and own testimony. And with that, just pledge. So my plea to you is pledge to be an organ donor. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Miss Rosemary Tan. It is a enlightening sharing. We are both of us are very proud that we have been an organ donor with Massachusetts since 2012. Yeah, so we are registered, and we pray together with you and hope that many more will respond because we see there's a great need. Now, if there's nobody posted any question, I guess they were all members mesmerized by your presentation. Nobody got time to think of any question to ask. If there's anyone who has any question or anything you need to find out more about organ donation, please type in your question at the chat box and we will pick it up. And Rosemary will definitely explain or clarify whatever doubts you have. And we look forward to have many, many more organ donors from this platform.
Yeah.
Since nobody is responding, what we do is I think we should open it up, Mr. Chairman, to allow people to talk and ask. I think that will be a better one so that they can ask impromptu questions rather
Yes,
than
why not?
waiting for
Yeah.
them to type and check it out. So I pass this time back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I think that thank you, Richard and Florence. And tonight we are really hearing, such a wonderful sharing by Rosemary, especially she's, an advocate for these organs donations. And especially it is in Malaysia organ donation is often considered taboo among the
Yeah.
Asians, yeah, due to the various mix of cultural beliefs and also their religious background. Uh, so with this, this Rosemary, the perseverance and also persistence in terms of actually driving these organs donations, and I believe more and more people are aware, and they begin to actually come forward and also be one of the donors. All right, so that many of the lives can be saved. So before we actually I will close a prayer first, and then after that, we will have a group photograph. Please turn on your video. Then we will have a group picture, and then after
Mm.
that, we will open up for Q&A. Will that be
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So let us close this with a prayer. Lord, we want to thank you for a wonderful sharing by Rosemary today. And we know that, Lord, that she's embarking on a very difficult journey of advocating these, organs donations, and especially in a place where there are so many, sort of hindrances among the Asians due to the mix of different cultural beliefs and also their religious background. So thank you, Father, that you have brought us here together. And Lord, that we just pray that every one of us that who have heard what Rosemary has shared tonight, that they'll be willing to come forward and be willing to register as one of the donors in this particular exercise. So we want to thank you for tonight. Thank you for for all of them who have actually come forward, and Lord, that you continue to bless them and also be with them as they stay back and also fellowship with Rosemary. So we want to give you thanks, and we want to bless you in Jesus' name.